Hello, I'm Matt, and I would like to welcome you to the channel. If this is your first visit to our channel, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when we upload a new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made a table leg. Actually, I made 4 table legs, but this is the 4th of the table legs, for a table for my stepmom so she can do her artwork. I am using a 2019 Legacy Maverick CNC router. And I'm going to show you the whole content of making this one leg because I think it's important for people when they look at buying a CNC to have a realistic idea of how long it takes to create a product on it. I will minimize the commentary, and you can fast forward if you want to fast forward through a section if you like, but this will still give you an opportunity to see the whole process if you wish. Please excuse the camera angle here at first. I will make a slight adjustment shortly. The first process here is called indexing 4 sides. And basically what I'm doing is making all 4 sides of the top of the table leg square and 3 inches thick. I made the blank oversized so that I could do this, because getting the blank perfectly centered on both ends is kind of an entertaining concept. I took the dust shoe off so you could see better what the tool is doing. I wouldn't normally run it this way because it puts this sawdust all over the place. It's kind of funny because with the dust shoe on, there's very little that gets all over the place. In fact, what you see laying all over the place before this started was the sawdust from doing 3 previous legs. And after this gets done, this whole place is covered with sawdust. Moral of the story, use the dust shoe, unless you're doing a video to show other people what you're doing. After the machine finishes this first process, it rotates back around to the A0 position. This next process is called turning round. And basically I'm going to turn the remainder of the leg into a 3-inch round cylinder before I add the decorative rope twists. Because the leg has a 3-inch square top section, I used a 1-inch Z clearance as recommended by Legacy to make sure that the cutter head doesn't come back and run into one of the corners later. If it was set at the 1/8 inch that it would normally be set at, it would already be cutting wood. I will have to put a little bit more thought into how I set this up, but in the end I would only save about 2 minutes by changing the clearance. The background noise that you hear is me sanding on the previous leg. That is one of the nice things about a CNC because it's basically a robot that works while you're doing other things. First, the CNC is going to knock the corners off. It starts out kind of slow here, but for some reason the machine's default reduces the speed from what I have it set at, and I will come over and manually speed it up here in just a moment. This is getting better. The machine starts and finishes with a shoulder cut, so you will end up with a square section at each end of the blank. This last pass is a little bit slower, so it gives a nice smooth surface. I noticed that the tailstock had loosened up slightly, so I tightened it up. I'd never had it do this before, but I will have to pay closer attention. Fortunately, I'm putting a rope twist on this table leg, so the tear out that you see where I tightened it up will disappear here in just a little bit. Now I'm changing the 1¼ surfacing bit for a 2-inch rope twist bit made by Magnate. For some reason the machine did not rotate back to its A-axis 0, which I don't quite understand. The first process that it's going to do with the rope twist bit is to create a start spot and a stop spot for the rope twists by doing a tool profile path. Checking out the tear out and making sure the blank is still secured. The machine is set to cut to a tool profile depth, however it's cutting about 1/8 of an inch deep for some reason, and leaves a little ridge on the edge. Now it is cutting the end point for the rope twists. Now the same cutter is used to create the rope twists. The tool will make a rough pass from the headstock to the tailstock and then make a finish pass coming back to clean it up. It'll do this 3 times until the rope twist is completed, in this case because I have it set for 3 starts. And this is really throwing chips all over my shop. The wood that I'm using here is some ash from my stepmom's yard back up in New York, so this table will have a little extra special meaning to her. Now I'm switching the 2-inch rope twist bit for a round over bit with a 1/4 inch flat on the bottom so that I can round over the bottom of the leg and at the same time give me a spot to cut the end of the leg off with the chop saw so they all end up exactly the same length. I normally use the dust collector like I said, but I noticed there was a buildup of chips, so I blew it off with my blower. I have in the past had chips get stuck in the rack and pinion and cause a head crash, which you really don't want because it has a tendency to ruin things. Though that was while I was using a program called Mosaic and making some kitchen cabinets. The program cut really close to the edge of the plywood, leaving these little stringy strips that were about 1/8 of an inch thick, and they got over the rack and pinion and stopped the machine. This is once again a profile toolpath, however I'm only going down about 1/4 of an inch so that I can get my cut mark. If I were to do it again, I'd go down at least 1/2 of an inch to use more of the round over on the bottom of the leg. Now I added one last tool path using the surfacing bit so that I can clean up the 1/8" ridge that's on the end of the leg. The first leg I cleaned up with the sander, but using the machine is so much more precise and a lot easier. I still have to figure out how to use the rope twist bit and avoid getting the ridge at the end of the leg. In total, it took 24 minutes to make this one table leg. I know with tweaking the tool paths I could speed it up, and I will work on that in the future. That might seem like quite a bit of time, and I know that I could adjust the tool paths and make it work a little bit faster, but I'd like to see how else you might make this decorative leg and do it in an efficient way like this CNC did. This is a picture of one of the legs, and you can see the groove that I cut so that I have a cutoff mark to use with my chop saw. You can also see the ridge to the right of that is left by the profile cut of the rope twist bit. These are the first big legs that I've turned on this CNC, so I do have a little bit to go with the learning curve. But I'm still very impressed, as you can see in this picture, which is the finished table. Now you may wonder why somebody would put such big legs on such a small table, but my stepmom wanted a very sturdy table to paint on. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when we upload a new video. If you have a question or comment, please leave it in the comments section and I'll give you a quick response. If you think a friend or family member might enjoy this content, please share. Thanks again, and have an awesome day.